There's a certain kind of book that doesn't just sit quietly on your shelf. It hums, it vibrates, it radiates caffeine through the paper. E. Doc Smith's Grey Lensman is one of those. It's not so much read as survived. Published in 1939, right before the world lost its collective mind, it's the book that turned science fiction from rickety rockets and bug-eyed monsters into a full-blown cosmic opera. Before Clarke, before Asimov, before George Lucas had even learned to wave a stick and call it a lightsaber, Smith was already building galaxies big enough to make your head spin. Doc Smith was quite literally a chemist with a typewriter. The man mixed formulas by day and supernovas by night. He had a Ph.D. in food chemistry and a wild suspicion that morality could be measured in horsepower. His heroes were scientists with the souls of saints and the trigger discipline of an action figure. Kimball Kinison, the star of Grey Lensman, wasn't just good. He was the kind of good that could sterilize a solar system, and he did, more than once. Smith wrote with the confidence of a man who'd never met a subtlety he didn't immediately vaporize. The story goes something like this. Kinison, intergalactic policeman extraordinaire, is recovering from his last round of heroic near-death experiences. Within a few pages, he's undercover, infiltrating a galaxy-wide crime syndicate called Boscone. It's the usual pulp setup, except the scale keeps expanding until you realize the villains aren't even people anymore. They're cosmic sadists called the Adorians who make Satan look like an intern. Kinison spies, fights, blows things up, reads minds, and somehow manages to have a love life in between starship duels. The woman who loves him, Clarissa McDougal, is a nurse with nerves of titanium. She's one of the few pulp-era women who gets to be clever, calm, and completely unimpressed by telepathic fireworks. If Kinison is the mind of the galaxy, Clarissa is its heartbeat. She keeps him grounded, reminds him to eat, and occasionally tells him to stop vaporizing things long enough to rest. She's the human element in a book that often forgets humans exist. In a universe of men who can rearrange atoms with a thought, she's the one who knows where the bandages are. Without her, Grey Lensman might just implode under its own testosterone. With her, it occasionally remembers what kindness looks like between explosions. Doc Smith's world runs on a simple equation: science equals goodness. The Lensmen, the shining telepathic knights of the galaxy, are literally given jewels that light up when you're pure of heart. It's part superhero origin story, part lab manual for the soul. Evil, in contrast, is always messy, inefficient, and unscientific. The villains never calibrate their death rays properly, and that's how you know they deserve to lose. It's ludicrous, but it's also kind of beautiful. Smith believed technology could save us, if only we were nice enough to it. In Grey Lensman, physics isn't just a tool. It's a moral compass that points toward the nearest good guy. Reading Doc Smith is like being cornered by a very enthusiastic astrophysicist at a party. Every sentence is a supernova of adjectives. His ships don't travel, they hurl themselves through space. His battles aren't fights, they're planet-melting symphonies of plasma. The man wrote like he was trying to outshout the heat death of the universe. And somehow, it works. You don't read Grey Lensman for literary restraint any more than you watch a volcano for subtlety. You read it for the sheer, blazing conviction that if you build something big enough, bright enough, and loud enough, it might just be perfect. What's easy to forget now is that Smith pretty much invented this kind of storytelling. Before anyone called it space opera, he was already composing it. His earlier Skylark novels were the prototypes. Pure, super science fiction, the kind where equations save lives and logic defeats evil. Grey Lensman turned that blueprint into a cathedral. It's the bridge between pulp adventure and the modern myth of interstellar heroism. Without it, there's no Star Trek, no Star Wars, and no fleet of earnest captains boldly monologuing about ethics. Smith's Galactic Patrol walked so the Federation could negotiate peace treaties in matching uniforms. Of course, reading Grey Lensman today can feel like mainlining optimism straight into your brainstem. Its moral clarity is so bright you could use it to guide ships through fog. The prose, bless it, is purple enough to have its own orbit. But beneath all that noise is something surprisingly sincere. It's a story from a time when science fiction still believed progress would save us, when technology was magic we could understand if we just studied hard enough. In a world now addicted to dystopias, That kind of wide-eyed belief feels almost rebellious. So yes, Grey Lensman is absurd. It's bombastic, it's occasionally unintentionally hilarious, but it's also magnificent. It's a reminder of a time when imagination had no brakes and no irony. You finish it slightly dazed, probably dehydrated, and with a weird sense of gratitude that someone once thought galaxies should be this much fun. The universe never looked bigger or more ridiculously hopeful than it does through Doc Smith's eyes. And if that isn't worth a reread, what is?